All right, it looks like folks are joining us from the waiting room. So I'll go ahead and do a quick intro and then hand things over to today's speaker. I would like to welcome everyone in today's webinar. If you're joining us for the first time, our team is located at the University of Kentucky, and we provide support to the NIH's SURE program. We do several different things, including bi-monthly training webinars like the one you're participating in today. We do record these webinars, and we'll make the recordings available on our YouTube channel. Do give us a few business days to process and upload the video, however. We're also eager to hear your questions. We would encourage you to drop those in the Q&A box at any point, but we will hold those until the formal presentation concludes. And at that point, I'll share them with today's speaker and give her a chance to respond. So with that, I would like to extend a warm welcome to today's speaker. We have Dr. Brittany Rice joining us. Dr. Rice is an assistant professor in the UK College of Medicine. She's the co-program director for Markey Cancer's Strong Scholars Program and a member of our SURE Resource Center team. So we're excited to have her speak about post-bac programs and how they might be of interest to you. So welcome, Dr. Rice.
Good afternoon, everyone. As Melissa stated, my name is Dr. Brittany Rice, and I'm super excited to speak with you all about post-baccalaureate opportunities. Advancing. Okay. So, if you've joined one of the SURE trainee-focused webinars before, then you will recognize this slide. But for those of you who haven't, I'm going to just reiterate what Melissa just said. I'm an assistant professor in behavioral science. I'm the co-director of 2 cancer education and research training programs, and I am a regional coordinator for the SURE program, all of which are located at the University of Kentucky. But what truly qualifies me to speak with you all today isn't just my job titles. It's my personal experience in navigating a year-long post-baccalaureate program at Virginia Tech. That experience was a game changer, and it helped me strengthen my academic and my professional profile. It also made me more competitive in my career, and it equipped me with the skills that I needed to thrive in my recent past and in my current roles. Today, I'm excited to share how post-bac programs can transform your academic and career path, just as they did for me. By the end of this presentation, you will walk away with the insights you need to make an informed decision about how a post-bac program can propel you towards your next big step. Specifically, you're going to learn how to identify post-bac programs that align with your goals. You're going to understand how they can enhance your graduate or professional school applications. And then we're going to discuss navigating potential challenges like time constraints and financial costs. Lastly, you'll be able to gain crucial information about eligibility requirements and application competitiveness. So, rather than just a straightforward presentation, I'm going to walk you through my experience in a story-like format, reflecting on the challenges and the decisions that I made along the way. I'll start by talking about my undergraduate years, what my goals were, how my GPA impacted these goals, and why I realized I needed something more to help move me forward. Then I'll share how I discovered post-baccalaureate programs as the perfect opportunity to continue honing my technical skills while improving my academic record. Ultimately, this made me more competitive for graduate school. I'll break down what programs are, the different types available, why I chose the one that I did, and I'll weigh the pros and cons of the options. I'll also walk you through the application process and what I learned along the way. From there, I'm going to dive into the outcomes and the opportunities that came from my post-bac experience, how it shaped my future and opened doors, and finally, I'll share a few additional considerations based on what I've learned, and I'll leave plenty of time for discussion and questions so that we can walk through any thoughts or concerns that you may have. Again, this will be a bit of a reflective journey, and it is my hope that by the end, Not only will we be virtual besties, wink, wink, but also I hope that you'll walk away with some valuable information that can help you guide your own path. So let me take you back to my time at Elizabeth City State University. When I first started college, I had a clear vision of my future. I was majoring in pharmaceutical sciences and aiming to head straight to pharmacy school after graduation. I thought I had everything figured out, but as college often does, it threw me a few curveballs. It didn't take me long to realize that my interests weren't as aligned with pharmacy as I originally thought. So I made a bold move. I changed my major not once, but twice. First to biology and then to chemistry. The shift brought new experiences and, importantly, new opportunities to explore research. These experiences opened my eyes to something I hadn't expected, a genuine passion for research. I soon realized that pharmacy wasn't the right path for me anymore. I wanted to explore the possibility of a career in research. Now, by the time that I was nearing my fifth and final year at Elizabeth City State University, if anybody's on the webinar from ECSU, Viking Pride, but again, let me get back. So by the time that I was nearing the fifth and the final year at ECSU, I was facing a big question. I didn't know what was coming next. And that's all that I could think about. What's coming next? I had to make some tough decisions, and I had to make them quickly. It was February, you all, of 2013, and I graduated in May of 2013. And by that time, I hadn't applied to any advanced degree programs yet. Many of my peers who were applying to PhD programs were well past preparing their applications and already deep into their interviews. The pressure was on. At that point, I didn't fully understand the difference between master's and doctoral programs, and I hadn't spent enough time researching which path would be the best fit for me, nor had I figured out exactly what I needed to do to make an informed decision. I hadn't even started to think about where I might want to apply. It hit me hard. I was behind, and I didn't have a clear direction for my future. While I had developed a strong interest in research, I was still uncertain about which research area I wanted to focus on or how to find the right mentor and project to guide me. I was at a crossroads. I was unsure of how to bridge the gap between my undergraduate years and the graduate journey ahead. Then I remembered something that I had heard at a national conference that I attended. This something was post-baccalaureate programs. During the time of the conference, I hadn't paid much attention to them, but now they seemed like they might be exactly what I needed. So I looked into it. Shown is what I discovered after conducting online research, and that is that post-bac programs add similar eligibility requirements to biomedical graduate programs. And many of these requirements aligned with my own experiences. Suddenly, I saw the light. There was a path forward. These post-bac programs could give me the academic preparation and the further research experience that I needed. And they could help me bridge that gap between where I was and where I wanted to go. I also want to note that I understand that not everyone tuning into this webinar may be planning to attend graduate school. Some of you all might be considering professional programs instead, and that's perfectly okay. The great thing about post-bac programs is that they aren't limited to those aiming for graduate schools. They can be an excellent option for anyone pursuing a professional school path as well. On the next set of slides, I'll define what post-bac programs are, I'll describe the different types, and I'll discuss how they can benefit you no matter what your academic and your career goals are. Now, let's talk about what post-bac programs really are. If you've ever typed what are post-bac programs into Google, and you all, I did this, when it was in the clutch around February and I was trying to figure things out the year that I was getting ready to complete my undergraduate academic program. And I was bombarded by a lot of hits. So many hits that I somewhat felt overwhelmed. I don't want you to feel overwhelmed if you decide to Google it, so I'm going to break it down. Simply put, these hits will tell you that a post-bac program is an educational opportunity for individuals who have already completed their bachelor's degrees but want to further their studies. These programs are designed to help you build skills, gain research experience, and or meet the prerequisites that you might need for a graduate or professional school. Whether you're looking to boost your academic profile or prepare for specific programs like medical, dental, or pharmacy school, for instance, post-bac programs offer a range of options tailored to those goals. What makes post-bac programs stand out is their flexibility. These programs are not, I repeat, are not a one-size-fits-all solution. Whether you're looking to strengthen your academic knowledge, gain hands-on experience, or explore a new career path, post-bac programs can bridge the gap between where you are now and where you want to be. Some focus on enhancing your understanding of specific subjects, while others are going to offer more practical experiences like clinical or research opportunities. In general, post-bac programs fall into three categories, these being clinical intensive, research intensive, and academic intensive. Choosing the right type of program for your goals is the key to making the most of this opportunity. Let's start with clinical intensive post-bac programs. These programs are perfect for those looking to gain hands-on clinical experience, especially if you're aiming for a professional school like medical school or dental school. You'll have the chance to work directly with patients in real-world healthcare settings, gaining invaluable exposure to the medical field or whatever healthcare field of your choice is. Alongside this practical experience, you'll dive into health sciences coursework to prepare for entrance exams such as like the MCAT, all while strengthening your clinical knowledge. It's a fantastic way to build your professional skills and enhance your application to healthcare-related programs. If you're passionate about scientific discovery, research-intensive post-bac programs are for you. These programs allow you to immerse yourself in the world of research. While doing so, you'll gain hands-on experience in laboratories or in research groups. You'll often work closely with faculty members on cutting-edge projects. This is where you'll have the opportunity to publish your research or even present it at scientific conferences. Alongside with your research, you may be able to take advanced coursework that will help you build a strong academic foundation and sharpen your analytical skills, thus further preparing you for research-focused graduate programs like a PhD in biomedical sciences. If you're someone who thrives on exploration and innovation, this is the perfect fit for you. Finally, we have academic intensive programs. These programs are ideal if you want to strengthen your academic record or meet the prerequisites for graduate or professional school. Whether you're looking to boost your GPA, retake courses, or fill in gaps in your academic program, this type of post-bac program helps you refresh your knowledge and become more competitive in your field. Many of these programs also offer additional support, like tutoring and academic advising to ensure that you're on the right track. If you need to solidify your foundation before advancing to the next level, this is the way to go. This route is more common amongst students pursuing professional degrees than students pursuing graduate degrees. It's important to note that many of the post-bac programs blend elements from these three categories. For example, in my case, I needed a program that would not only help me better understand the scientific process and mentoring relationships, but also allowed me to strengthen my academic record and demonstrate that I could be successful at graduate level coursework. Remember, no matter where you are in your academic or your career journey, there's a post-bac program that can help you reach your next big step. Now that we've explored the various types of post-bac programs and how each one can support your academic and career goals, it's important to consider some of the practical aspects that come with committing to a post-bac. While these programs offer incredible opportunities, they also require significant time and effort. Post-bac programs typically span 1 to 2 years, with the duration varying based on the program structure. It's important to note that a 1-year program isn't necessarily more rigorous than a 2-year program, or vice versa. No matter which path you choose, the time commitment is significant. Post-bacs are demanding, and balancing coursework with research, clinical hours, work, or personal obligations can be a challenge. From my own experience, managing this balance took a lot of discipline and time management. Juggling classes, research, and personal commitments meant that I had to stay organized and plan ahead to avert burnout. You'll need to find your rhythm and structure your days wisely to stay on track and keep your well-being in check. And while time management is key, the financial side of post-bacs require equal attention as well. Cost-wise, post-bac programs vary depending on the program and the school. There may be application costs. If you take classes, there will be tuition costs. Research programs are often grant funding, meaning you'll receive a stipend and likely those tuition costs will be covered. While clinical and academic focused programs typically do not offer stipends. For these types of programs, scholarships, loans, and other funding options may be necessary to cover expenses. It's crucial to research these funding opportunities early so you can plan ahead and make the most of the financial support available to you. In short, a post-bac program is a significant time commitment and financial investment. With careful planning, support, it can be a transformative experience that brings you closer to your academic and your career goals. Now that we've covered these investments and commitments involved with post-bac programs, let's shift gears to what comes next, and that's the application process. We've talked about how much these programs can offer, but now I want to explore how you actually get your foot in the door. The application process might seem like a maze at first, but don't worry, it's not as intimidating as it seems. With the right mindset and a solid approach, you can navigate it with confidence and set yourself up for success. Let's dive into the key steps and strategies that will help make your application stand out and get you one step closer to your goals. Now, let's start by looking at this general eligibility requirements for post-bac programs. This table should look familiar, but as we go through it, focus on the details that specifically pertain to post-bac programs. During this segment of the talk, I will mostly be speaking from experience, specifically hindsight. I didn't follow all the advice that I'm going to be giving you when I was applying because I didn't know it, but I wish I really had. In fact, this is the same advice that I give to the predominance of my students now. The secret to success in this journey isn't some hidden formula. It's simple. Show up, put in the work, and stay committed. And the first step, that's earning your bachelor's degree. Once you've accomplished that, you are already well on your way. The key is to perform at your best academically while you're in your undergraduate programs so that you can increase your competitiveness for post-bac programs. Now, if you happen to have some areas on your transcript that aren't quite as polished as you like, don't worry. I've been there too. In fact, when I applied to a post-bac program, One of the reasons I sought this opportunity was to strengthen my academic record. My GPA of a 3.03 wasn't the most competitive on paper, but I did not let that discourage me. Instead, I viewed it as a stepping stone. I knew a post-bac program could provide the perfect opportunity to prove myself and show that I could handle graduate level coursework and give me the boost that I needed to improve my academic standing. So, if your GPA or your academic history feels a bit shaky, don't be discouraged. Post-bac programs are designed specifically to help you grow and prove your potential. You got this. Use the resources and the opportunities available to you to build your academic foundation for the next steps in your career. Something that can be a game changer for your application to research-intensive post-bac programs is previous research experience. Now, while having research experience may certainly boost your competitiveness, and it definitely boosted mine during the application and interview process, I want to emphasize that it's not a requirement to apply to such programs. Why is this, you might ask? If you ask that, I want to let you know that the reality is that not everyone has the opportunity to gain hands-on research experience during their undergraduate years, and that's okay. Research-intensive programs understands that students come from a variety of academic backgrounds. Some applicants might have worked in labs, while others might have conducted independent research, while some might be coming to research for their very first time through the post-bac journey. What's important is to show a genuine interest in research and a willingness to learn and grow in that field. If you do not have prior research experience, that's fantastic. You can use it. Not if you do not. If you do have prior research experience, that's fantastic. You can use it to demonstrate your ability to handle complex scientific questions, your attention to detail, and your problem-solving skills. Research experience shows you're capable of working independently, contributing to a team, and thinking critically. All of these are traits that are invaluable in a research-intensive program. Whether you have worked in the lab or had a chance to collaborate with mentors on research projects, these experiences give you a leg up when applying. But remember, the absence of research experience doesn't mean you won't be competitive. Most post-bac programs offer the chance to gain this experience. Specifically, these are going to be the research-intensive post-bac programs. And they're looking for candidates who are eager to learn and contribute. If you're passionate about research, this is your opportunity to dive in and gain the hands-on research that will set you up for success. Now, speaking of graduate school preparation, when I was preparing for graduate school and applying to my biomedical post-bac program, the GRE was a key factor in admission decisions. It was the standardized test that every student had to take to demonstrate their academic ability. But here's the good news. The landscape has shifted. These days, most graduate programs have moved away from requiring the GRE as a part of their application process. This change has made it easier for applicants to focus on other important components of their application, like their academic record, their personal statement, and relevant experience. So, if the GRE was something that you were stressing over or any other type of entrance examination and you thought that you needed it for a post-bac program, do this with me. Breathe in and then breathe out. I want you to breathe easy. Many of these programs now place more emphasis on your overall profile, not just a standardized test score. You will need to secure outstanding letters of recommendation. And I'm going to say this again for the people in the back of the virtual room. You will need to secure outstanding letters of recommendation. These letters are key to your application success. A pro tip is that you don't need to leave this to chance. Give your referees the tools they need to write a compelling letter. Share with them the qualities you like for them to highlight about you, and then back those up with examples from your experiences. Don't forget to include your personal statement and your CV too in your note to your referee. These documents will help your recommenders paint a clear picture of who you are and why you'd be a great fit for the program that you're asking them to recommend you for. Now, let's dive into what I believe is one of the most important elements of your application. This is the personal statement. In the personal statement, you have the opportunity to truly shine and make a lasting impression. So, how can you stand out from the rest of the applicants? First, you will need to be authentic. Your personal statement is your story, and the admission committees want to hear it from you. Share why you're passionate about the field, how your experience has shaped your goals, and what drives you to pursue a post-bac program. Don't try to tell them what you think they want you to hear. What you think they want to hear. Show them the real you, not just the applicant on the paper. They're looking for genuine passion, so let that shine through. Next, highlight your unique experiences. Think back to the moments that have shaped your academic journey up until this point, whether it's a research project that you're particularly proud of, an internship that opened your eyes to new possibilities, or a class that sparked your interest. Don't be afraid to bring these experiences front and center. In fact, I'm encouraging you, bring them front and center. This is where you can talk about how you've also overcome challenges and gone above and beyond or taken unexpected paths that led you to here. These stories will make your application more memorable. Another key point, you should focus on your future goals. Post-bac programs aren't just about where you've been. They're about also where you're going. Tie your past experiences into your future aspirations. How will this program the next goal? What specific skills do you need to develop? And what impact do you hope to make? By showing a clear vision of your future, you'll help the admission committee see your potential and how you'll thrive in their program. Lastly, make it personal and tailored to the program. Do not, and I repeat, do not just send the same personal statement to every program you apply to. Please take the time to research each program's missions, their values, their faculty, and integrate that into your statement. Ask yourself and then write about it. Why is this program important for me? How does this program fit within my goals? Or how does it align with my goals? The more specific you are, the more your statement will resonate with the admissions committee and set you apart from the other applicants. Remember, your personal statement is your chance to connect with the committee on a personal level. It's not just a list of accomplishments. It's a story of who you are, where you've come from, and where you're going. So take time, be authentic, and make it a reflection of the best version of yourself. Moving on, I want to talk about the remaining documents that you may need to submit for your application. Many research-intensive programs will ask you for a curriculum vitae, which is also called a CV, while other programs might request a resume. So, what's the difference? Regardless of which document you're asked to submit, both need to be competitive. So, here's some tips to make your CV or your resume stand out. Highlight your relevant experiences, whether it's research, internships, leadership roles, or academic achievements. Ensure the most important and relevant experiences are at the top. Use strong action verbs. Instead of saying, I did research, say, led research on, or developed innovative methods for. Now, this is not the time to be facetious and to fabricate things. Speak truthfully, but just speak using strong action verbs. Whenever possible, use numbers to showcase your accomplishments. For example, you can say you increased lab efficiency by 20%, or you can list the number of publications and you can list them in order, like a numerical order, for the publications that you have published in peer-reviewed journals. This quantifies your impact. Now, just like your personal statement, your CV or your resume should be customized for the program that you're applying to. So you want to emphasize experiences that align with the skills and qualities that the program you're applying to values. You can find what they value by checking out their websites and other information that they have available. After you submit your application, you will wait for an interview invitation. For more information about how to successfully navigate the interview process, please join me on February the 4th for the next Sure Trainee Focused webinar. I said a whole lot, and remember, I wanted to leave plenty of time for discussion and questions. So as I wrap up this session, I want to leave you with a few key takeaways. The first one being, Post-Bac programs are powerful tools that can help you bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be. Whether you're looking to strengthen your academic record, dive into research, or gain clinical experience, there's a Post-Bac program designed to support your goals. The path isn't always linear, and that's okay. Many of us, myself included, have had moments of uncertainty and setback, but the right program can give you the structure, the support, and the opportunities to grow and achieve your dreams. The application process can seem daunting, but remember, there's no one-size-fits-all approach. Take your time to research, personalize your materials, and make sure that you're applying to the programs that best align with your career and academic goals. I also want you to remember that Post-Bac programs aren't just about what you've done. They're also about what you want to do. They offer you a unique opportunity to gain critical skills, build experience, and position yourself for success in your next steps, whether that's graduate school, professional programs, or even entering the workforce. Lastly, I want to remind you that this journey is yours to shape. Take advantage of the resources, mentors, and programs available to you. The next chapter of your academic and professional life may start with the Post-Bac program. And with dedication and hard work, it can be a transformative experience that opens up new opportunities. Okay. I probably should have mentioned this earlier, but I'm mentioning it now. I have no financial disclosures. So everything that I'm about to tell you, I'm not getting an incentive to tell you this. Okay. So I want to wrap things up and leave you with some resources. I've included a few QR codes to Post-Bac programs that I'm familiar with, or in some cases are involved in. First, there's the Virginia Tech Post-Bac Research and Education Program, which is part of the National Institutes of Health, National Institute for General Medical Sciences Post-Bac Research Education Program. If you're into research, these two programs might be right up your alley. I've also included a link to the Marquis Strong Post-Bac Fellows Program, which I have the privilege of co-directing. It's an excellent opportunity, and I highly encourage you to check it out. While the program is primarily research intensive, it also includes clinical and academic components. Participants in the program engage in meaningful research, either in the lab, the community, or clinical settings. What's even better is that students in the program have the chance to take undergraduate or graduate level courses at no cost to them. Plus, each student is paired with a clinical mentor who they'll shadow throughout their time in the program, offering invaluable hands-on experience. Lastly, up until preparing this presentation, I did not have much awareness of the academic intensive Post-Bac programs. One that I ran across on the AAMC website was the Post-Bac pre-med program at American University. Upon completion of this program, individuals will receive a certificate. Check out these programs and remember that there are tons, and I mean tons, of post-bac programs out there. So do your homework, like really dive into it. Application for many of these programs aren't due until late February or mid-March, and others are due much later. So you still have time. But trust me, you don't want to wait until the last minute. Strongly consider post-baccalaureate opportunities and apply yourself. Your future self will thank you. And with that, my current self would like to thank you for your time and your attention. I feel so blessed to have this opportunity to engage with you all. And I really hope that you found this information helpful. I also want to point out that I'm always willing to prepare and present training focused, professional, and personal development talks for groups. So if there's any staff or faculty that are on this webinar or that are watching the recording, if you're interested in having me speak with members of your department, your college, or your institution, please notify the Resource Center at the email shown in green on the screen. Okay, now I'm going to open up the floor for questions and further discussion. Thank you all so much.
All right, thanks so much. That was excellent. So we can take questions at this point. If you would like to type a question, please drop it into the Q&A or the chat box. If you have a question that you'd like to ask out loud, you can use the raise hand feature and we'll unmute you so you can share it that way. While we give folks a few seconds, I will just mention that just today, the journal Nature published an article about post-bac programs. So it's on their homepage and it's got some additional information about success rates for getting into graduate school and that sort of thing tied to participating in these programs for those that might be interested.
That I don't know, it just slipped my mind and it's super important. I should have told you all the outcome of my post-baccalaureate research experience at Virginia Tech. I was able to become more independent in the lab, which was super important for me because I wanted to obtain an advanced degree. In addition to obtaining that independence, I went on to present the research that I did there at several conferences, one in which I gave a poster presentation, one in which I gave an oral presentation, and I was awarded for my oral presentation Best Student Presentation Award, and that was at the Virginia Academy of Sciences a long time ago. So I'm not going to tell you how old I am. Another thing by participating in the post-bac program at Virginia Tech, I was able to publish 2 papers from my research. Remember, I was only there for a year. It was research intensive. I published a first author manuscript and a co-author manuscript. In addition to that, I took courses. And although it was an adjustment period, you all, it helped me to prepare for the rigor of courses at the graduate level. And I did well in those courses. And then last but not least, I got intensive coaching and mentoring. I've had a lot of mentors in my life. And my mentor at Virginia Tech, which was Dr. Elizabeth Gilbert, and the program directors, which were Dr. Ed Smith and Dr. Eric Wong and Dr. Ann McNabb, were so essential in just helping get me together. There's no way that I would have gotten this far, you all, without that experience. So if I can do it, and remember, I kind of waited till the last minute. My GPA was like, it was all right, not super competitive, but I had a lot of limitations. The post-bac program helped me to overcome those limitations. It bridged every knowledge gap that I had, and it has literally helped me in what I do today, what I did a year ago, a few years ago, and then before that. So I just forgot to mention those outcomes. They're super important. So I wanted to do so now.
I think the one thing that when people are aware of post-bac programs and looking for them, I think one of the things that they do, I think this is changing a bit, but it's historically they've often thought of these as kind of a precursor to grad school or something like that. But that's no longer the case. I mean, you touched on this a little bit, Brittany, but most programs now have a component of where they're trying to give you various types of career counseling for other things. And by other things, I don't mean random things. I mean, the goal of these programs is to help you develop a career in biomedical science in some capacity, whatever is the best fit for you. So having other options for people is like, well, I don't think I want to go to med school or grad school or nursing school or whatever. I think I just want to be, a medical sales representative or something. And a good post-bac program is meant to help you find what's a good fit for you. I mean, there's a lot of careers in biomedical research at different levels that don't necessarily involve hands-on research. Covers everything from, one of my former students it works in the patent and trade office, evaluating patents, and so that's kind of a legal area. And I have another one that works in clinical trial administration. I mean, these are all related things, right? So there's plenty of reasons to consider a post-bac program when you're trying to decide if you want to stick with biomedical research.
All right. Well, if there are no other questions or comments, well, thank you again for the excellent presentation. And just remind folks to give us a few days to process and upload the recording to YouTube, but it will be made available if you'd like to go back and watch any part of it again. All right. Thanks all.